What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Just Hosting. We got a lot to do this month. It's April 2024. I posted a short video about three powerful tools, ones that I've talked about a ton: Notion, Hospitable, and Price Labs. Now I realized I gotta actually show you guys how to use them. If you haven't been to this channel before, my name is Justin. I'm a short-term rental, primarily Airbnb and VRBO host. This is my fourth year doing this. I've got a portfolio of about 30 properties, and this channel is dedicated to helping someone like yourself, whether you're brand new to Airbnb or VRBO, or you've got 50 properties or 100 properties under your belt. I want to help you automate and streamline your business. Taking me a while to get some words out. I'm doing a lot today. So today we're going to hop in and use a tool that I love to use, not only just for communication, but for teams and a unified inbox, make sure everyone is on the same page, and that is Hospitable. So this video will be a little bit longer. We're going to dive into a full tutorial about every single setting that we've got in there, how to use it, how to set it up, and how to make it the most efficient tool for your team and your guests. So before you keep going, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and honestly, you're going to like the video, so hit the like button as well. Pull up your Hospitable on a split screen or on another monitor, and dive into the settings for your business as we're going through this. That's the best way that I've seen people get the most out of these videos. So I hope you enjoy it. If you've got any questions, make sure you leave a comment below, and I'll try to help you out. Let's go.
Add your discounts, and remember, these only go to the booking platforms that are highlighted here. VRBO doesn't have a lot of good syncing with Hospitable. It's a VRBO issue, not a Hospitable issue. So you have to do some of that manually, which is why I lead with Airbnb 9 times out of 10. These are our guest experience. We'll dive into this a little bit later. These are all the messaging rules that are associated with this property and the booking platforms that they're associated with. I never really look at, honestly, much of this area, but this is a good summary. You've got the operations for every property, the tasks that apply, the team members that apply to that property, which you can edit all here. Any custom codes that apply to this property we'll dive into the details of all this, and then you can go and see the exact direct methods that you're getting here, which is really cool. You can see the taxes that they automatically apply, any promo codes you have, cancellation policies, all that good stuff. So super easy and concise way to check out all your properties. You want to make sure you do that merge thing that we did at the beginning of this and make sure they're always merged anytime you bring in a new property. If you've got a long-standing Airbnb property and you want to bring on a VRBO and you just set it and forget it, you might end up with a double booking. So you got to make sure that they are sunk on Hospitable before jumping in. Okay, next up is the calendar, and a calendar is a calendar. It can't get much simpler than this, but I really enjoy the way this is laid out. Makes it super easy to understand and see where bookings are coming in from, see where the gaps are. You can see even the pricing, which is amazing, and the minimum stay. You can filter through different dates. There's a slider, yeah. You can slide through and go all the way to whatever you want, whatever time frame you want, and just check out what's going on at all the properties. And then you can dive into a single property. I only use this to adjust availability because it will block out the dates on multiple booking sites. I don't use this to update pricing. Again, I use Price Labs. You can kind of see all the bookings here. You can click into a booking and see the details and the activity that is associated with that booking. So important thing here, these are all the automated messages that we have set up. We'll talk about how to set those up soon. But if you ever want to see exactly what's being sent to a single guest, you can just see a little timeline that's going to come here. And you can even edit and turn these off. You can send it right now if you want to. They haven't been there yet, but you can send it now, or you can delete it just so it doesn't send, or you can edit it, whatever you want to do. But that's a really cool way to see everything in one place for one stay. Next, we can just go down the line here. I think that'll work out well. If we hop into guest experience, this is going to be the hub for all things messages and reviews for all of your properties. Anything that is automatically sent or AI generated and sent, or any roles that are on a time schedule, everything is going to be created in here. And you see we have a lot of properties, so there are tons and tons of pages of these. I'll make it simple and just give you a property I know has the bare bones of what's needed. We've got a questions about parking auto answer. We have a Wi-Fi auto answer. And then we have 4 scheduled messages. We have 5 minutes after a new reservation, welcoming them to the property with some more information and schedule of what's going to come at what time. In terms of check-in and check-out instructions, we've got a check-in message, arguably the most important, so people can get in. Special instructions. Now, this isn't something I have at every property, but my philosophy has always been to minimize the amount of friction or back and forth between guests and hosts. So this message, I'll click into it to show you. This message is only at some properties. This is probably the most extensive of them all, but it is typically just special instructions or things that are a little bit quirky about the home, and we keep it extremely concise. So this has got AC and heat in it, the outdoor shower, where beach chairs are, how to deal with the pull-out beds, the game console, and the alarm system. And it also has a little how to work the air hockey system. Now, you're right, I could put this in a guidebook, and I do have some of it in a guidebook, but I found that some guests don't use them, or it's not as easy, or they'll just go ahead and ignore it and just ask questions anyway. This eliminates 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 to 7 questions that could be shot across during any stay. They have all this information. It's right there. It's easy for them to access right on their phone. Now, I get the argument that you don't want that. Some people be like, I don't want to send all that junk to my guest or whatever. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say the more, just making sure it's concise, the better, to make sure that there is less back and forth between you and the guest. And emphasize concise. You don't want long, drawn out messages, but something like this right after they check in. This is when they're going to have all the questions anyway, right after they get there on a Friday or Thursday for the weekend. You want to give this to them and have them be ready to go. So this comes 30 minutes after they check in as well. And then this is our checkout message. I know Airbnb specifically has the checkout information in their interface now. I'm on board with that, and I still fill that out in the listing. You want to fill out every part of your listing, but I definitely fill that out. And I even let guests know that it's in there. But I'm not sure that all the users have caught on to that just yet. So I still send a little checkout message. And yes, of course, this is going to come back to, okay, hosts give guests too many things to do. This board looks a little bit long because there's just a couple things that are very nuanced about this property, like putting away the trash. What happens if they, put it away incorrectly? All this asks is to strip the beds for the ones that they used, and then lock all doors and windows, beach chairs, dishwasher, and then this is more for them. If you logged in any apps, just log out. Then we just have a nice little note. If there's any excessive cleaning, the expenses will pass through the guest, and then we appreciate it. I get it. This one's a little bit longer, and I have been shortening these up as we kind of go on with the tenure of the property. But right now, this is what it is. And this comes 17 hours before checkout. So the day before, the morning of the day before they check out. I used to send it like the morning of, and I realized some people would leave at like 7 a.m. and it would come at 8 a.m. and nothing would really get done, or the place would kind of be a little messier and it would maybe impede the next guest checking in if it was a back to back. So I like to send it just the day before so they have it all in mind and they can tell the rest of their group what they need to do before they check out. We try to keep it super simple everywhere. This honestly might be the most extensive one that we have. Last but not least, the questions about parking and the questions about Wi-Fi. I'm going to go through how to set these up as well. But these are really cool. These are auto answer questions. So these get instantly sent when a question about parking is detected, and you can pick when this would be relevant, before reservation, before check-in, or while they're staying. And then every time someone says, hey, where do I park? Hey, I'm trying to park out front. Can I park out back? Hey, can I fit 2 cars at this property? Hospitable is pretty dang good now at understanding what's being asked, and will shoot this right back to them immediately. And guests are like, holy cow, how'd Justin get back to me that quick? Well, it's the system, it's not me, but I'm flattered. So these are super helpful. Common questions and answers I set up here. Let me just go in and show you. If you click the Add New button, go to Reply to Questions About. These are all the different things that Airbnb's AI can identify and answer. The most common ones I always have set up are AC, discount, parking, restaurants, and Wi-Fi. Those get the most friction. They're the most commonly had amenities at all of our properties, at most properties, honestly. So there's always questions about them. I can show you how to create them. Super easy. The Add New button. They have a bunch of different events that you can create a message for. You can do a bunch of scheduled messages here. These, we already talked about this, but reply to a question about. These are the AI generated automatically answered questions, and then you have more. So you've got review templates, canned responses, which I'll talk about those in a minute, and then checkpoint messages. In the event X happens, Y gets sent is what checkpoint will mean. But these, honestly, reply to an event and schedule a message, save so much time. I remember when I first found this 3 years ago now, I was spending about, I don't know, 6 to 9 months on my own sending all this stuff. Probably 6 months, because I probably got pretty fed up with it and then wanted to find something to schedule. But man, I dove in and geeked out on everything that I could schedule or everything that could be set up and automatically changed. It saved so much time, even if you aren't the one sending these messages. Even if you have someone like myself, I have someone monitoring the inbox, and then we have two account managers who kind of play in the inbox but deal with clients mostly. I don't want them to have to worry about sending that stuff out. I want them to be worried about the issues that pop up or ways to help the guests and make their stay better. I don't want them to have to worry about, oh, there's 10 new reservations today. I got to send out all these messages and make sure they make sense. No, this right here, scheduled message, make sure that it makes sense 100% of the time, and it always gets to the guest. Same thing with the check-in and check-out, and there's really cool stuff you can do with check-in to be able to connect with a lock system like Schlage or Yale. It will automatically put a new code in there and generate it for the guest. That saved a world of struggle as well, and we'll go through that a little bit later. But if you haven't, and even if you have a team doing this for you, set this stuff up. Take the time to do it. I'll put some templates in the description of this video as well, so that you can use exactly what we use to send out to our guests and modify them how you want. Next up, we have review rules. This is super simple, and I have them for every single property. Actually, you know what? This is good to probably check and see if it's on every property. Yep, it's on all the ones we need it to be. I just have this go 3 days after checkout. Super simple little message here. This will give them all 5 stars too. So one of the reasons I have it 3 days is because 3 days gives us time to get into the property, see if there are any issues, see if the guest was a bad guest, and then come in here and adjust accordingly or turn the review off entirely and manually do it, or just not give them a review at all. But 8 times out of 10, this is getting sent 3 days after checkout. Also, the 3-day buffer gives you some time if you messed up to amend the situation with the guest. Let's say the place wasn't as clean as they wanted it to be, or, AC didn't work that well on their last 2 nights. If you post this review immediately after they check out, they're going to get a little email that says, hey, your host just rated you. Why don't you tell them how you felt about about your stay at their place? All they're thinking about is that the AC didn't work. There's a little bit of dust on the what's it called, the bed frame or the counter, and they're going to put that in their review probably pretty often. But if you do a debrief after the property and you do a debrief with the guest and they're transparent about that stuff, you can amend the situation, whether it be with a discount on a future stay, a discount on a current stay, or honestly just a good conversation back and forth and understanding why this happened and why it didn't. You can turn a 4 or 3-star review into a 5-star review just by being a good person and not having this quick review kick you in the butt. So I always do a 3 days after checkout, just to kind of give a buffer to clear out any issues. Don't overthink this as well, but I think it's very important not to send them right away. This is just all the AI detected questions that we talked about when we were in messaging roles. You can come here and set these up, right? You can test them. Do I use the AC? Boom. That could be something a guest answers. And look, there's a million different things here that AI will detect and then shoot out your rules. I only have this for one property right now. All right. There we go. Each floor has its own. This is just a little answer for them. And then you can add rules for certain properties right in here, which is super cool. Super easy to do. One thing about this, let me go back to adding a rule. You can go in and add rules for any of your properties just right from here, right from the guest experience and questions section. But the one thing it will do, and this is up to your personal preference, but it will always make it prepare the answer and never send automatically. What this does is, guest ask, hey, how do I turn the AC? It will get the answer ready that you put in here. AC code is 1234, and Meter is located on floor 2. So it'll prepare this message, but it will send you an email. Maybe it will send you a text. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it just sends you an email and says, hey, property 1234, got a question about AC. Do you want to send this message? Honestly, I think that defeats the purpose of this whole thing. I just have it answer instantly. So the second a guest asks, the answer is sent. I will put caveats in here too that says, did this, oh, I will put caveats in here as well that say, did this answer your question? If not, let us know and someone will get back to you ASAP. That way they know that it was not an automated sent message. Sometimes the system isn't perfect, so you always want to check in with the guest. So I'll always add something like this in a little more confusing or nuanced answer that gets AI sent. Remember to always check this out. Obviously, before a reservation, no one is going to be asking about AC. This is typically while a guest is staying. And then you always just want to have it sent from your account only and whatever properties it's associated with. So I'm going to delete this one. But the last thing I want to show you here is, first of all, looks like there's probably 25 to 30 different AI detected questions now. When I first started using Hospitable, there was about 10 of them. And the most important piece of that is these weren't all green. There was probably one or two that were strong. A lot of them were in the weak or 50-50 shot category, which meant that the AI was not that great at what questions that were being asked and sending out the messages. So it was really a shot in the dark. Right now, you can eliminate a lot of back and forth by using this and setting these up for all your properties. I'm actually going to go in and set up a little bit more of these after I get off this video here. So now we're at the custom code section, and I've done a full video on this, so I'm going to leave it out the tutorial because it can take up a lot of time, but they are super powerful. Essentially, how I use them right now is on a very simple basis. It just is approving and denying early check-in and late check-out. What I mean by that is the system will automatically check the calendar and see if an early check-in is possible. Obviously, on a back-to-back, it's not. But if there's no one staying the night before that guest, we can typically have the property ready by 2 p.m. And it will automatically send that to them. It'll automatically update their code and everything. So go check out that video. It's in the link in the description below and set these up. They're super powerful. Canned responses. These are for, if we go back and we talk about the special instructions that I had for property 136 and messaging rules, this is a way to have things that are a little more nuanced or unique for a property that you don't want to be sending to every guest. The most relevant one that we have is this boat launch. So not every guest is bringing a good boat here, but you can bring one, right? You can bring a boat to this property. So what this does is in your inbox, let me go to my inbox. We go here. If we click on this little button here, you can see all of the canned responses that are associated with this property. Cleanliness issue, a discount reply, emergency maintenance issue, package delivered during the stay, or, we don't have an answer, let us get back to you pretty soon. So you just click this. You can improve it with AI, but I think it's pretty good, or you can just hit send and it will go. But the cool thing about all of these is that they're set up and ready to go. So for my team, I noticed that those questions were being asked to myself and our account manager a lot. Hey, someone says something about a package. Hey, someone asked about a discount. We have standard procedures set in place for all of these things, so it's the same for every property. And all you need to do is click 2 buttons and you can send that message away. We just had one recently where someone was like, hey, letting you know I'm bringing a boat. What do I need to know? Boom. The team doesn't need to go anywhere else except for 2 buttons, and it sends a step-by-step process on where to go and how to do their boat. So these are super helpful, and honestly, I need to have more of these set up. The way to use both, I mean, this whole guest experience area is extremely powerful for streamlining your business. Top down, starting from messaging roles, arguably custom codes are just as powerful. They're just a little bit more difficult to set up. But if you want to do something a little bit easier before you do custom codes, head to canned responses and set these up for your team or set them up for yourself, so that no one's sitting there typing away and you get a typo or something messed up in the message when they're sending it out. All right, now to head to operations. Operations is where you're going to set up everything for your team members, teammates, task rules, notification rules, all that good stuff. It's a good operational hub. Honestly, super easy to use. The first thing we have up here is task rules. Now, we only have this set up for one of our properties, and that is for one of our locations, I should say, and that's for Nashville. And all this does is it will send a email to this person on our team anytime that there is a cleaning task created immediately after checkout. And you can customize this just like you would set up a custom message for a guest. You can go in and set up a custom email or text whenever a task is created. Now, tasks are automatic. Those get set up anytime a booking is created. Multiple tasks will be created, like check-in, check-out, cleaning. Those are the three most common automatic tasks that will be generated. These are just notifications and rules for those notifications to be sent to your teammates. So now if we head to teammates, we're going to go in here, and this is how you can set up a lot of different people for your properties. So if we go to new, you'll see the standard contact information here at the top, but then you can select a role, which is very, very cool. So for instance, for a cleaner, let's say we just have them at one property, they're going to be notified. They are the cleaning team, and they are assigned to that property. So when you go ahead and you make a cleaning task or a cleaning notification, you can assign this cleaner to get that text message or email. So let's do one here. Testing, test at testing.com. Let's see. Okay. Oh, is it going to make me put a real number? Okay. There we go. So they are the cleaning for 154, right? So if we go to create, now that person has been created and they are in our system, right? So you've created someone. It could be a cleaner, it could be a manager, it could be maintenance, whatever it is. If we then go to notification rules, and I'll explain what this all is in a second, and we go new reservation, right? We'll turn this on, and we will do it for cleaning at 10:54, right? Hey there, new booking. Okay, so what I just created here was every time that there's a new reservation, it's going to send this. We do text messages. You can do emails as well. It's going to send this text. Hey there, new booking and check-in day of the month. Of course, I'll show you exactly how we create ours. It's a little bit more detailed than this, but it will send it to your cleaner that is assigned to this property, and that is testing. That is who we just set up. So they will get that text message for any time that a new reservation comes in on this booking or for this property. So I'm going to turn this off. And let me just walk you through now exactly what both of these are without setting one up. So these are all of our cleaners, managers, owners, and other people that have been associated with these properties. You can see their properties here and what they are, whether they're an owner, cleaner, or manager. This is just essentially how you add someone to your system. Now, in order for those people to get notified for certain things, you will set up these notification rules. We have them for new reservations. We have them for alterations and cancellations. Those are going to go to every single one of our properties. We also have day before checkout and right before checkout for 2 hours. And then a couple more properties have some cleaning checklists. What these look like are super simple. Hello, teammate first name, new reservation, the property address, the listing type, check-in at the hour, checkout, and how many guests it is. Go to the last two pieces here, task calendar and log. Honestly, I've never been in task calendar. This is essentially just showing you who is being assigned what cleanings, and you can see we only use this for our properties in Nashville, so it only has one person in here. But let me just say this: you don't need to create tasks in order to set up the notifications. You can just set up the notifications and they work just fine. The reason why we have tasks set up for Nashville is because we have a bunch of properties set up there. So it just sends him a task reminder in a special cleaner email rather than sending him a million different texts at once. If you want to set up that email, just reach out to support. That's the only way they can have it set up now. It's super easy. They'll walk you through it. Should only take a day to set up. Next up, we'll go to metrics. Now, this is something that can be very powerful, but I have to admit that because my properties are all over the place, I don't use this as much. I prefer to use Price Labs to look at this type of data. But if you are managing 30 properties or 100 properties in the same place, this is a cool place to go. If you don't have a tool like Price Labs, to be able to compare yourself to the market, or to be able to compare yourself versus last month or last year at the same time and just see where all your bookings are coming in, how much is coming in for those properties and everything there. You can also export it, which makes it super nice. I'm not going to dive into this too much. It's fairly self-explanatory. If you like to geek out on numbers, this is where to jump in, but I will say wait for our Price Labs tutorial. That's where the geeking out on numbers come. The last couple, we got connected accounts. I believe we already talked about this on how to set it up, but this is just your hub for everything that you're going to connect. And if you ever have a new host that you need to add, if you are co-hosting on a property, or a new account that you need to add, you just come here and connect. Super easy. Now, this part, I'm not going to go through everything here. Just know that this is your direct booking platform, which is super cool. You can just simply go ahead and create a site. And gosh, they make it like way too easy. You can add a domain if you want. You can even design it. They have a couple templates here and you add a couple things here. Ours is super simple. Seriously, we don't add too much. You go ahead and you click off the properties that you'd like to be added to direct, and then you go to publish and your site is live. So let me just show you what ours looks like. This is us. And this is how you bypass Airbnb or VRBO or booking.com, whatever it is. Come here. The cool thing is Hospitable will pull, I didn't type in any of this. Hospitable pulled it all from Airbnb. So you've got, and they even set this all up. Got everything here. You can go and book if you'd like. Boom. You'll see exactly what's going on here. Clean little service fee. I do give discount codes to guests. I think that's in another video that I posted. I'll post a link somewhere. And then if the guest goes to request a book, all that'll happen to you is you'll get a nice little email. You approve in the email. And then the cool part is these guests will still get all your auto messages and they can still communicate with you through email, and you'll be able to see it in your Hospitable inbox, which is awesome. So you don't have to go to any other booking platform. You don't have to go to any other email or text or whatever. It's just like a normal message. And every time you respond in your inbox to that direct booking guest, they get an email with your response. So last but not least, this is devices. I'm completely honest, this is very, very new. Yeah. So new that they're giving me a walkthrough here because I've never been in here. I'll have to create a whole nother video on this. You can see we've already got some properties set up with it. We use Yale locks primarily, and those work just with Hospitable, which is really cool because it auto generates a code and sends it to the guest. That's super easy to set up. I have my team do that. I am not proficient in that part, So I'm going to wait and hold off to post a video on this section. Last but not least is going to be user management. Now, this is how, let's just go back to the beginning of this section when we talked about operations. In order to give your cleaner access or your maintenance person access to your calendar, you have to first add them in operations as a teammate, assign them to properties as a teammate, and then you come right in here to user management and you will go ahead and add that person as a user and give them access to the things they need. You can see AJ here, that's one of our account managers. She's got access to it all and every property. Troy here is a cleaner for Nashville, so he only has access to the Nashville properties and the calendar. That's all he needs. There are two accounts here that are set up to see our inbox. Those are our communications team. So just always remember to invite a user after you add them as a teammate. Then just let them know, hey, Hospitable is sending you an invite. Click accept, and you will be able to see our calendar or see the inbox, whatever it is. So I'm not going to jump too deep into that. That was super simple, but I will go back to the inbox. We are all done here. Wow, there is a ton in here, but as you can see, we actually kind of breezed through this one. And if you just take each section step by step, or just use one property and set that one property up using each one of these sections, it's rinse and repeat and it's super easy. So I advise you to pull up this video, pull up one of your, premier properties, set it up in Hospitable, set your team members up, do it all once, take your time, watch the video, come back to it. Once you've done it once, you can copy and paste it and do it a million times. So let me know what you thought about the video. Let me know how you're using Hospitable to make your operations a little more efficient for either yourself or your whole property management company. I'd love to hear it. I geek out on this stuff. So I hope you were able to enjoy it and grab some value in it, and we'll see you wizards next time.